So, okay. Mehran, would you like to go first?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Mehran. I'm a senior UX designer working at Export Development Canada. And before that, I was working at CIBC. And before that, I was working at IBM, the same role, UX UI design, working in this industry for about 15 years. Yeah, here to help Elham to run the workshop and hope you can benefit from this.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here and supporting me, Mehran. Um, uh, Most probably everybody knows me, so I've made a lot of noise during the last week in Python's WhatsApp group. My name's Elham. I'm a UX designer, and I have a 10 years background in graphic design. Lately in let's say in 2020, I switched from graphic design to UX design. And once I learned what is UX design capable of doing and how much capabilities UX design gives me, I just started, looking around, see what potential situations I can find to improve and make things better, because that's basically what a UX designer does. Our job as a UX designer is to design experiences for people and make sure that those experiences with products or services are designed in a way that are the most user-friendly, smooth, and easy way, like the easiest way that you can imagine. And today, what we're going to do, if I can share this. Like I said, we're going to talk about Python. The idea for this workshop started when I joined Python, and I was looking for a job, and I thought I would come over here and network with people. I participated in a few meetings and got to know fantastic people, worked on my presentation skills, and learned a lot from Python members. And at some point, I thought to myself, what can I do to make things better? Wherever Python is right now is the results of many people's volunteer work that they've kindly asked, dedicated their hours for bringing Python to this point. And I thought I could contribute to taking this further and helping Python members to have a better experience of being a member of this group. As you've also probably seen on the Python website, the Python's agenda and goal is to help its members with personal networking, improving their soft skills, also with seminars, talks, mentorships, and expanding their professional networking. What I'm going to do today is looking at those goals and try to figure out how Python has worked towards those goals and how close is Python to the goals that it has set for itself, and what are the members looking for right now? What might be the pain points? What confusion or disappointment, I don't want to call it disappointment points, but sometimes users join a group or do something, join a service, join a company with certain expectations. And after a while, it's always good to evaluate them and measure the user satisfaction and understand which potential improvements can happen. So today, our goal is to analyze the current situation in Python and find the user's pain points, understanding the pain points by empathizing with the users, which I'm going to explain a little bit further, and suggest possible solutions for improving the current situation. We'll do this through a UX design lens and a design thinking process, which all the UX designers use. The design thinking process starts with empathizing, understanding the users, defining the problem, ideating solutions, creating prototypes, and testing the prototypes. And as I'm going to tell you at the very end of the presentation, the last two steps have a lot of iterations. So you create the prototype, you test it, you understand some features are not working as they should be, and then you go back and ideate and prototype again. You will come back to testing, and there will be endless iterations. So we'll get there. Before that, let's start with the empathy. So let's say it like that, who are we making this for? We're thinking of Piton. We're thinking of making improvements for Piton. Who are Piton members? What do they do? And what are their problems? That's the very first step towards understanding the users. From the survey that I shared on the group, and luckily 16 people responded to this survey, I got very interesting numbers over here that showed me the equal amount of people, let's say 37.5% of Piton members are between 31 to 40 years old, and the equal amounts are between 41 to 50. So now we know mostly which age group we're talking about. What is their occupation? Actually, 50% of the members are looking for a job, and they're here for networking and using that network to find job opportunities. We also have business owners who are 21.4% of the members, and as they said, they're over here to network with people and find opportunities as well. How do they communicate with the group members? Well, we all know Piton has a LinkedIn page, a WhatsApp group, and we have monthly meetings. So I asked them, how do they communicate with Piton, and to understand which of these are, getting more attention. And I realized that most of people only check WhatsApp group messages, which is 43 to 8%. And right after that, there are people who both check WhatsApp messages and come to monthly meetings as well. It's just good to know all of these. Like I say, it's empathizing with the user. We are trying to understand the users, what they're doing, what they need, what they're looking for, etc. The third question is actually, what are their problems? So I asked myself, I want to know, first of all, with what motivation did these people join Piton, and did they really find what they were looking for, or are they problems that they are experiencing and they want to improve it? So that's where I'm going to switch to Miro, and our collaboration starts from here. You can start unmuting yourself. From the first frame, let me show you. I already sorted a few of the ideas that we got. So from the responses that I got from the survey, we had most of the answers to why did you join Piton. Most of the answers were about the response was networking. After that, we had job hunting, and then mentorship, learning, and collaboration possibilities. I also had, you can take a look at the ideas over here, and I also had a few cards that I wasn't sure where to place them. Like, probably you can help me where to put them. Like somebody said, I want to, let me put it here, find new opportunities. I wasn't sure what the person was talking about. Anybody has any idea where we should put this card?
You can unmute and answer the question. We encourage participants engagement. It's two-way, workshop. It's not just Ilham speaking and others listening. So please be proactive. I would answer this question depending on the purpose of the user. It could be for those who are looking for, job, new opportunities, could be new career opportunities. For those who have business, maybe they are looking for talents to join their business, or maybe they are looking for expanding their network to, expand their business.
Exactly.
That's for me.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Marzia raised her hand. I guess she was trying to say the same thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, awesome. So we have this card over here. I'm going to put it at the collaboration part, but just like Mehrdad said, we could also put it over here at the job hunting column, where we're saying that the users are looking for jobs, right? I had another one, which I wasn't sure what to do with. It was sharing with the community. So I'm not sure what the user wanted to share with the community, either their knowledge, their experience. Any thoughts on that?
I would put that in collaboration, maybe.
Yeah, okay, so let's put it over here. Somebody said to be a part of the community, an IT community. Where would you put this?
Again, it would be collaboration, I think.
Collaboration, okay. Let's put it here. Thank you, Ali Reza. And I also had one comment that said lead generation finding. I'm not sure what they meant by that. Anybody has any thoughts?
How about
People are looking for customers.
Maybe, could be. So then that would go through collaboration, right? Okay, let's see. Anybody wants to add anything else to this board? If you are if you've already joined Piton, you can tell us tell me why you've joined Piton. I'll type it over here. If you're not a member in Piton, you can just try to imagine. If you join a networking group, what is your motivation for doing so?
A good question for you, Ilham. So basically, I've been attending, well, not actively, but maybe a few Piton sessions in the past, but I don't have any clear definition of what the Piton member is. So maybe we can start with defining a Piton member, and then, yeah, at least I have a bit better picture for myself.
Yeah, I know what you say. For today, for this workshop, let's consider anybody who has ever joined Piton meetings or is a part of the WhatsApp group. You don't really need to be a premium paid user or member, let's say, because I know there's a premium membership, but I'm talking about everybody who has been in touch with Piton, no matter if they're premium users or not. So in that case, is there anybody who likes to add any ideas to this board, or shall I move further? Oh, okay.
Yeah, just a quick note that the reason that we are doing this is because this workshop is about the user experience design, and everything starts with the user. That's why Ilham has done this and gathered a lot of information about the user, because without this information, basically we can't provide a solution that helps the user. So that's why the first step is understanding the user, gathering the data, doing research. And this type of research is one of the techniques that we are using within our daily job. So, and whatever you see is I can say, sample of the work that can be done during the research for every user experience project.
Amazing, thank you, Mehran. Yeah, that's exactly what's like what he said. this is what every UX designer would do at the beginning of the project to get to know the pain points of the users. So they do a lot of interviews, talk to people, ask them to walk them through their experience with the actual product. And based on that, they make lots of notes, and mostly they put them on sticky notes, post-it notes. And then there would be a, they call it card sorting workshop, where they, just like what I did over here, the UX designer and the other members of the team, who could be a UX researcher, could even be developers and engineers, they all come together. Other stakeholders in the company will all come together and try to discover the user's needs by sorting these cards and understanding, and putting dividing users' different needs into specific groups. Okay, with that being said, let's move to our next frame, which is what problems are there and what can we do to make them better. We're not looking for solutions at this time, so I'm not looking for you telling me, oh, I want Piton to have an app, or I want Piton to have a spaceship that takes me to Mars, blah, blah, blah. What we're looking for right now is understanding what's going on that doesn't work, what problem is there, what is there that you don't like and you wish you could change. And if there is something that you wish you could have, let's say, if there could be more networking, if there could be more, I don't know, conversation about this and that. So I'm talking about needs right over here, not solutions. If I want to ask all the participants to help me with adding some more ideas over here, what would you say? Let's imagine for the ones who are already a part of Piton, they know what we're talking about. For those who are not, again, imagine you have joined a networking group. You're either looking for a job or you are looking for networking, get to know people for future collaborations, etc. What kind of expectations would you have from that networking group? Tell me and I'll write them down over here, or you can type them in the chat and I'll copy paste and bring them here.
Elham, would you be able to enlarge this note so we know what has been said so far?
Absolutely. That's what I'm doing. Is it good now? The orange ones are okay for now?
Perfect.
Awesome. Okay. Figure 2. Ta-da. Good. So, what do you think? Anybody has any ideas?
I don't know it's a good idea or no, but maybe if you can give consultation in different languages like French, Farsi, Chinese even, or Arabic, maybe it could be helpful for juniors.
Mm-hmm. So more languages, or let's say consultation.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Sure. That's a really good idea, actually. This would, like you said, this will help junior users. What else?
If I may, so basically, if we can have subgroups, like for example, I know a lot of people here working in cybersecurity field, and it is a very good potential. So basically, we can have subcategories in a more specialized fields, like, I don't know, if we have developers, UX designers, database administrator. I'm just talking IT because I'm an IT, I'm an IT engineer, but it could be anything, right?
Right. Okay, so subcategories in networking, or I see your point in subcategories, and I totally agree. But if you want to bring it into more details, subcategories for the meetings or subcategories for.
Sure, it could be anything, but when it could have its own agenda based on what's going on in there. I mean, it could be just for networking. It could be for maybe, I don't know, some technical workshop like this. For example, if there are some security expert, they want to share an experience, or they want to, I don't know, they have an opportunity to teach something to the others. So these sort of things, it could be anything really. It is, I mean, when you just form these sort of subgroups, there are going to be just a lot of opportunities coming out of it. It could be job hunting, mentorship, anything again.
Amazing. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's put this over here.
May I add something?
Sorry, I have a suggestion. Can we move these ones to the next part? What would you need? Because we can then define the problem statement based on that one.
So what was that once again, Mehran?
Sorry, these two new sticky notes, I believe they can be moved to the next part because they are the needs actually.
Okay, gotcha. Sure. Yeah. I've got some ideas in the chat, and I'm gonna copy paste them. Somebody was saying.
I wanted to say something.
Sure.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. I wanted to say we shall have some creative methods to encourage people more, because somehow I think I know lots of groups whose actually members are not so active. There's a big group, but some of people are not really active, and they are just there. And we shall create some ways to encourage everybody.
So, creating ways to encourage everybody to participate in the meetings or be volunteer.
Yeah, to help each other and to support each other and be active in the meetings for all of them.
Okay, so I'm gonna call it to be more
active member.
Thank you. Awesome, awesome. Anybody else wants to talk?
Hello, everyone. My name is Katayun. Very nice to meet you guys, and thank you for accepting this seminar. I was wondering if there is any way if we can have access to the people's profile in this group, because, for example, for myself, I don't know which group of people can help me to communicate. So there is a lot of people. So if we can categorize them, that would be very helpful.
Okay, so categorizing, subcategorizing, you agree with this? And I can put a star over here or a small dot. And I just saw somebody in the chat group that said agreed with this what is it called? Subcategories. So I'll add another one there too. Great. Okay, we have lots of ideas in the chat group as well. Somebody said knowledge transfer. I'm going to copy that as well. Over here, somebody said, I suggest we can put in learning opportunities. Good idea. Awesome. And how are we doing with the timing, Mehrdad? How much time do we have for this session? For this section?
Which section are we in according to the agenda? I was changing my background. Did you notice?
Sure, no worries.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't see your background. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I guess we should switch to defining the problem statement.
Yes,
so that the agenda.
I thought you were there, but sounds like you haven't jumped there yet. So yeah, you're a little bit behind, 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay, let's make it faster. I hope that you don't feel overwhelmed. Thank you very much for your participation in this brainstorming. I'm gonna copy paste your chats at the break time so that I'm sure no opinion or ideas are missed. I'm going to copy all of them over here on this board so that we can have it for either another workshop, or I can hand it to Piton board members to see why they how they can implant the solution that we're trying to reach today.
Elham, I have a suggestion. Why we don't go quickly through the agenda so everyone knows what we are going to do today, and then we can switch back and continue.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
just quick walk through the agenda.
Sure. So we've had our networking, we've had our introduction. What we're doing right now is understanding the problem. And right now we're going to define the problem statement based on what we discovered from our users, what they're looking for and what they need. And then we will very quickly create user persona and user journey based on the information we have. And we're going to make it really quick. So I hope you don't feel overwhelmed. If you do, just let me know. And at 6:45 or probably 6:50, we will have 10 minutes of break. We'll come back and we will have ideation and presentation. Sounds good?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome, thank you, Mehrdad. Okay, so now it's the time to define the problem statement. Mehran, do you think you can help us with this?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I have a suggestion. Because you get amazing information from the user, why not we just tweak this part and create a persona first, and work on the journey, and then do the problem statement. Because we have enough information, we can just do that with the team. And definitely we can come up with the problem statement.
Absolutely, why not? Let's move to the persona section.
Yeah, and let me just explain about the persona, why we are doing this one.
Go ahead.
Originally, when we have a lot of users or clients or customers, it's hard to think about the solution for every individual. That's why we create these personas. They are some characters, I can call it fake characters, but they are based on accurate information from the users. It's just a combination of characteristics, behaviors, needs that we put together and develop this person that represents one of or a group of our clients or users. And usually we do that to make sure we don't develop a solution that is not for the user. I mean, sometimes we create something, but we completely forget about the actual user. That's why we always put this persona in front of us to make sure, okay, we are targeting the customer, we are targeting this person, and then the solution should satisfy this person. So that's why we develop these ones based on the information that has gathered, or just like Elham did, to put together. So I think I can pass it to you, Elham, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Something really interesting I heard from somebody. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to.
Yeah.
Ask this to remind me later. Okay. It was really interesting. Somebody, when somebody was trying to explain the concept of persona to me, he said that when you're designing a project, in a UX design project, when you're talking to different people and you get to know their needs and their pain points and their frustrations, you get to know a lot of, different opinions, and you have to find a way to bring them all together. And on the other hand, when you're going further in the meetings with other stakeholders and other people who are involved in this project, you want to be able to transfer all these feelings you've got from the users, all those frustrations that you learned. And you cannot really communicate it with them unless you create a persona. So when you go further, let's say you're designing an app for senior citizens, and then further on in the meetings, one of the developers wants to keep all the buttons and fonts in a very small size, then at that point, you're as a UX designer, you're an advocate for your users. So you will start saying, not that I don't like that font, you will say my persona doesn't like this font. I think my persona cannot read this small font because, you know, because of their age, etc., etc. So for that reason, we are creating a persona over here. We usually use a very general picture, create a name, age, and education, and some kind of, you know, demographic information that comes from our data, the results of our surveys and interviews. For this one, I'm going to use one of the, let me show you. Over here, what age groups did we have? We had 31 to 40, 41 to 50. One of the boldest ones. Let's do 31 to 40. So our persona is, let's say, 35 years old. My idea was that we start with the persona who is looking for a job. And if we had time, we would go for more personas. We could have a persona for somebody who has a business, has his own business, and and is over here for collaboration. But for the sake of time, we can only do one persona. So let's go with the majority and go with the persona that's looking for a job. Well, since we're all IT people, let's say she has a bachelor in computer science. And what else? She's coming from any idea, any country, any town you want to suggest?
It's open to all people around the world, but mainly let's say in GTA.
Okay. But she's new in GTA. She's new over here and she wants to network to find a job. So I would say she's coming from
Middle East.
Middle East. Thank you. Okay.
Someone has a question. Someone raised.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Dora, go ahead.
Hey, hello. I have a question. So in reality, this kind of persona, we should do the real interview or we just make it up?
You make them, but it's not just making them. They represent the real users. So if I want to give you another example, let's say I'm working on designing a website for people who have disabilities. And I talk to real users. I talk to Mike, who is blind and has, you know, vision problems. I talk to Kathy, for example, who is on a wheelchair and has a spinal cord injury or brain injury. And I don't want to use those real names to, you know, present their frustrations and problems and experiences to the stakeholders and, you know, the actual client and other people. So I use those, their demographic information, their thoughts, their frustrations, their quotes, what they actually say and what they're looking for, and put them into a kind of like fake person, I would say, and call it a persona.
So do you mean that the personal information, we can back it up, but the story or the background or what we get from them, I mean, all the information, all the interviews is true, right?
Yes.
So it also depends on the scale of the company. For example, if we work for a big project for a big company, maybe we, in reality, we have the budget to do like a wide range research. But if we only work for a small project or a small company, we don't have budget, maybe we just ask some friends. Is it our normal practice in reality?
Well, in reality is that you cannot just talk to friends, you have to talk to actual users. But with how many users do you talk and how much time do you spend, what kind of interview do you do, that all depends on the company size and the budget that you have.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry.
Sure, no worries. I cannot follow, just one thing, I cannot follow the comments on the chat box, but if there is anything, like really important that you want to tell me, please raise your hand. Other than that, I will read all the chats during our break time. Before we reach our break time, which we're supposed to be 6:45, let's very quickly do this together. Creating our persona. I would say I would continue with what I have here. I would say Lily is single and her occupation is that she's looking for a job. So with this demographic, and I will, because we don't have time, I will leave her story for later on. Let's say Lily just moved to Canada from Middle East. We know that she has computer science education. She's capable of doing a lot of things. The only thing is that she doesn't have the network to get to know people and to find her dream job. So now she's here to look for a job. What would you say her goals are? Finding a job.
Expanding her network.
Expand her network. Yeah, thank you. Anything else?
Working on the presentation skills.
Let's say, shall we say, improving her soft skills?
Correct, yeah.
Awesome, thank you. What are her frustrations? Let's say we have, like I say, in the real situation, you would interview with people and ask them about their frustrations. But in this case, we are the users. You are the user. So you tell me about the frustrations that this person might have.
Well, the first one would be definitely language barriers, I would say.
Amazing, thank you.
Frustrations or pain points, let's say.
Yes.
Both, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Marta.
Perhaps the second one would be a competition, because in computer field, there are lots of competitions. It's so competitive.
Okay, thank you.
Just one note that imagine that this persona represents one of the Python's group members, not just overall job seekers. Because in the previous session, and the previous part of the agenda, I realized that some of you mentioned some of the gaps within your group. For example, if there were subgroups or those kind of things. Imagine this user is feeling, so she's being frustrated because you don't have those features, you don't have those options. I know, like, we can talk about persona as a like general persona that is looking for a job, but just be mindful that this should be related to the information that you just gathered together.
Right, so back to the point Mehran just said, I would say, for example, if you have a subcategory for those who need help on building their CV, one of her frustrations would be, a weak or a poor CV.
Right.
Or finding a mentorship program or mentor.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Finding a mentor.
Not familiar with the job market.
Yes. Not being familiar with the job market. Okay, anything else? Good. So for the codes, we usually use the actual phrases that the actual users tell us. Like, let's say I've talked to somebody close to Lily's character, and she has told me, I think there should be some subcategories in this Python group so that I can talk with people who are specifically in my field. Or all the things that we said on our Miro board. She says, let me bring you here. I think there should be a knowledge transfer, or I think that I need some consultation in my own language in order to learn the basics and move further. So the way it goes is that the codes are formed based on the data that we've got. And I could right now generate so many codes from what you said, but since we've already wrote them on our Miro board, we'll keep them right over there. Let me just show you the next slide, which is the user journey. We're not going to go into too much details for this, which I would really love to do, but it's just the time is killing us. We have to stick to the agenda and make sure that we are finishing at 7:30. So let me show you what a user journey is on our Miro board. I'm going to move from here to here. User journey. I have my persona, who's Lily. And like I said, in the real situation, we will have much more than one persona, usually 3 to 5 personas. And we will try to imagine what is Lily's experience through this specific subject that we are looking at. So let's say her relationship, her relationship with Piton and the fact that she's looking for a job. What else is going around these 3 main points? What is her daily routine? She wakes up every morning, has her coffee, then she, if I can zoom over here, she checks the WhatsApp group, she checks LinkedIn, she checks her email to see if she's got anything from the recruiters. And then the touch points that we have with Piton group is the WhatsApp group. Then we will bring in our user journey, we will bring the customer thoughts. What is Lily thinking? Is she thinking that, oh, that's great, this WhatsApp group is working? Or is she thinking, no, I wish I could have this and that? We will, whatever we've got from our interview with the user, we will bring it right over here and then visualize their feelings based on what we've got. So let's say, I would go with this. Lily is happy with the WhatsApp group. She sees some job postings there from time to time, so she's okay. For now, we'll put this over here. She's happy, but she's wondering if she could have more options, or she's wondering what else she can do to be more active. So we'll bring that into the customer thoughts. Lily is thinking what else she can do to find a job faster, let's say. And right over here at the very bottom of our user journey table, we will have this fantastic column, fantastic row, which is opportunities. So we try to find opportunities through Piton or through the company, any company that you're doing the project for this situation. We've talked to the user, we know the frustrations, we know how the user is feeling, we know what the user is doing. So we will go for thinking about opportunities that we can bring to the user. Before that, we need to define the problem statement. You agree, Mehran?
Yeah, definitely we can do that. And just another note about that user journey is, I don't know if you felt it or not, but when you have a persona, it would be easier to develop the user journey because you can feel the client, you can feel the user, and you can put yourself on behalf of the user and see, okay, what actually they feel or what actually they want during the journey. And as you saw, Elham could find the pain points and the touch bases with the Piton's application, because if you don't map it that way, you don't know where user can interact with the group, or what we have here, for example, the touch points, the second row, you don't know where she's going to go and what she's going to do at the end of the day. So that's why we do this one, to see, okay, we know what she's going to do. We know what she wants exactly and what are the pain points. And then based on this, we can define the problem statement. Now we have a lot of information. We have the research data, we have the interview data, we have the persona, we have the journey map. And now let's define the problem statement together. And just a side note that these activities are taking a lot of time. It's not something that in the actual work can be done in 1 day or 1 hour. So we spent hours or weeks on this for every step, because these are a part of the design thinking processes. And these are just some techniques that we are using. And every one of these techniques should be done with the team, maybe 1 day or 1 week. And then we analyze the data based on that. And this is what you see is just a simple example of that. So now we are going to do the problem, to define the problem statement. We do this one to make sure that we are working on the right solution for the user or the persona. And definitely, we, like in the actual word exactly, again, we need to validate this problem statement with the user. That's why we set up some interviews, we set up some one-on-one interviews, or for at this time, we can't do the one-on-one. We do, for example, virtual or phone call interviews to validate this problem statement with the user to see if we are on the same page or not. So now it's so simple because we have the information. We just need to know what user needs. And exactly, I like this template because you just need to fill the gaps. So our user needs something, so we know this to be true when that's going to happen. So I'd like to leave the stage for the group to see what they think, what should be replaced with those dots.
One single problem to, or one single need to mention. So what they have to do is choosing between all the needs, only one of the needs that they can mention, and I'll write it down over here. Yeah. Okay, suggest me something. What do our users, we know they need a lot of things, but based on what we talked about, what was the most, let's say, which option was mentioned more than other ones?
Mentoring for job hunting.
I think I like that. Okay, I'll go with mentoring for job hunting. I'm also looking at the, also, awesome. Okay, I was also looking at the chat box. Our users need mentoring for job hunting. We will know this to be true when our users are more successful in their job hunting process, right? If you don't agree with me, it's free to unmute yourself. Feel free to unmute yourself and tell me. So we know this to be true when our users or our members find the job easier. And
you could add when our mentored users.
Our users who have used the mentor, or let's say mentees.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So will our mentors, or would a problem solution be like maybe having like mock-up interviews and stuff like that to prepare for like actual like job interviews? Could that be something that we could add to maybe the success rate of getting a job?
I totally agree with you on that, but I think that would still go under the umbrella of mentoring for job hunting. So
okay, yeah, just making sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just add your suggestion over here to our Miro board so that we will have it for our future communication. Mock interviews. Awesome. yellow one. Let's go back to here. Okay, we have the persona. We talked about user journey. We wrote down the problem statement and defined the problem. I think we did a lot of things. That's great. Kudos to us. It's time to take a break.
Can I add something else? Sorry,
Absolutely.
I don't want to take much time of the group. If you want to make sure about the problem statement, just ask you why. Why our user needs mentoring for job hunting. Does anyone know?
I have an idea, but I'm gonna.
They are not familiar with the job market.
Why?
They are new to this community. They have newly arrived. That's what we had mentioned before in the persona.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, these why questions I'm just mentioning that they are helping you to make sure about the problem statement. So our users need mentoring for job hunting because they're not familiar with the job market because they just arrived to this country. So in that case, you are making sure that, okay, this is the right problem statement. You're not going to the wrong direction. So just, you know.
Amazing. That's right. Thank you so much, Mehran. Is there anything else that anybody likes to say before we go on a break? We're all good? Amazing. Okay. How much time do we have for a break? Shall we have 10 minutes, Mehran? Can we have 10 minutes?
So Ilham, we are at 6:56. We already passed the break time, but let's say we can have, I don't know, it depends on you and how much of the content is left. We can have between 5 to 10 minutes break. I will be here answering any questions.
Okay, I would say let's have 5. Thank you so much, Meredith. Let's have 5 minutes break. I want to make sure I'm not, you know, putting you on a stress on the second part of the workshop. So now it's 6:57 sharp. I'll see you at 7:02.
Excellent. Thank you, Ilham. And I will stay if you have any questions or if you want me to you know, entertain you, let me know.
Amazing. I'll be here as well. Okay, so welcome back. Let's review what we already did before going to the break, and then we're going to quickly be divided into groups in order to talk about solutions about the problems that we found in the first section. So what we talked about was that we're going through the design thinking process to approach our case study, which is Python networking group. We talked about the statistics and all the numbers and data we've got from the users, and we managed, we created a user persona, which is a somehow fake character who with a, let's say, fake picture and fake name, but representing the main users and their frustrations, goals, and needs. We talked about, very quickly, talked about user journeys, so what a typical user would go through and what kind of experiences they would have and what potential opportunities we can have in order to make their experiences better. And at the very end, right before going to the break time, we created a problem statement. So right now we know that our users need mentoring for job hunting. We will know this to be true when our users, the ones who have been using this mentoring option, find jobs easier and faster than before. What we're going to do right now is ideation. So we will have groups right now. I'm not sure how many groups we will have. It depends on the number of the participants. But we have 10 minutes from 7:10 to 7:20 to talk about possible solutions for our user, for Lily. And what I expect you to do is think of, let's say, think of her needs. What did she need? She needs mentor for job hunting. So how can that happen? Should there be a website where she can find mentors? Should there be meetings that she can find mentors? Should there be maybe, I don't know, anything? Aliens should come to Earth to help her find a mentor. So just come with ideas, bring some ideas, and make sure that you choose kind of moderator in your group, somebody that can arrange all the ideas, collect all the ideas, and present the ideas afterwards. Each group will have 2 to 3 minutes to talk about their solutions afterwards. So starting from now, Mehrdad, can we have the groups? How is that going to happen?
Sure. I'm going to create 4 breakout sessions. As Elham mentioned, one person in each breakout room become the moderator to make sure that everyone can voice her or his thought. And then at the end, we encourage everyone to share your thoughts. So we know the problem state, and the purpose is to discuss about the ideas, correct, Elham?
Yes, the purpose
is the problem statement.
Exactly, problem statement, and we're talking about solutions. So try to focus on this problem. If you come up with other ideas, that's okay, write them down. We don't want to kill your ideas, but try to stay focused with this one, okay?
Okay, so meeting and the timing should be, you said 10 minutes or?
10 minutes.
Okay.
You know, let's do 8 minutes because it's 7:12 already. Let's do it 8 minutes. So we'll be back at 7:20.
Okay,